All right, as always, here's the risk disclosure. Trading futures is risky. Know what you're doing before you do it, and you can lose all your money. Also, this live stream is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only, and the live stream is not intended to copy my trades. Good morning. I'm on a little bit early today. Earlier than usual, a few minutes earlier. Let's see if this breaks long here. It's kind of chopping around at this top. Got some double clusters on the 30. See what it does with these double clusters here on the 30 tick. Kind of bouncing around between them. This is a simplicity short that I would not take the entry on. I'd wait to see if it breaks below the COI and wall, and then look for an LRE. Hey, stock trader, good morning. I don't think anybody's used to me being on at 8 a.m. I'm usually on at about 8:10, 8:15. But we have some news and some earnings at 8 o'clock. I was seeing if there was going to be a move, but it's not really doing much yet. Morning, Vegas. How are y'all doing? Morning, morning. Yeah, it looks like this little area here, we got the double cluster ZOIs, a red institutional block here, so about halfway in the middle of this 50 tick bar. Just trying to get a read here. Morning, John. Morning, SS. Nice. Busy week. Morning, morning. Yeah, it's going good for me, outside of trading. So I will be taking simplicity entries as well going forward. And the reason why I wasn't before also is I've always focused mainly on LRE, but I've got to have another option because there's plenty of opportunities where you could have grabbed 40 ticks scalping a simplicity and then it doesn't give an LRE. So as you can see, I went ahead and put the chart trader on here. That way I can use the buy high, sell low button. Morning, Caesar. No, I'm actually leaving my 20 tick stop for it. So I'm only going to take the cleanest simplicity entries that I see, and I'll make sure that they don't have a huge gap between the the lines to where I have to have a big stop. So I'm pretty much going to only take the only simplicity entries I'll be taking are the ones, my favorite ones, where it's a breakout or a 50 tick chop breakout, things like that, where I know that has a really high probability. And then there's other ones that I'll just wait for the LRE. Yeah, looking for the smaller risk simplicities. And this is really only possible pre-market. After the open, you're never going to get a simplicity where 20 tick stop will be okay. But yeah, I just want, because if you get the good simplicities, the right ones, those typically just go. They don't retrace a lot. So especially pre-market, if you can get the ones where the gap's closer on the entry, and it's a good simplicity, a breakout one, they just go. So if it comes back on me 20 ticks, then Pretty much I just want out because it'll probably fail anyways. And off of good levels too, breaking out of good levels. That way my stop can be behind that level. But yeah, I was just thinking about it. I've been thinking about this all week, is that, I know, I've taken simplicity before and I can spot the good entries, but I prefer the LREs. So, like right now we have a simplicity short, and I'm not hopping in it because I would wait for the LRE, because if you look at the 50 tick, and this could go, I'm not saying this is a bad simplicity, but if you look at the 50 tick, we're at the bottom of a newly formed potential chop block, right? So we had an up, a down, and now we're here. So this could retrace a little bit, maybe even form another bar before going down. And we have the deviation right here. So, I mean, I wouldn't really expect it just to run. I mean, it might. And if it does, in that case, I'll look for an LRE. But that's an entry that I'm just not going to hop into. Yeah, there you go, doctor. LRS. And this hasn't ran down enough for me to take a LRE short. Plus, like I said, it's still at the bottom of that 50 tick bar. So that's another thing I look at the 50 tick bar, because we're at the bottom, right? So it could come back up and create its little chop box. So now if it was like down here and it hasn't closed yet, that's fine. But it's literally at the bottom right now and a deviation. So I don't like that. Yeah. Daryl actually loves taking simplicity trades off of deviations to, go to the next deviation. But yeah, he uses deviations as entry points and targets very often. Now I want to see here. We may be setting up a TBS, a third bar sling. And especially if it lays it up around these clusters or I block and gives a TBS short, that'd be nice. But even here, I mean, it's a TBS. So, and actually, if you look left where it's potentially laying that now, that's the top right here. Top of these little pullbacks. Couldn't quite make it back up, broke it a little bit. And now if it lays a mini magnet right there and goes down, I'm sure that'll push us down. But we'll see if it does it. And I mean, we have Canadian news at 8:30 for their GDP. Typically, Canadian news don't do much for us, but it's GDP, so I would treat it as a little mini dark zone there just to see. Now, I would like a short under this deviation with it laying that TBS. That would be nice. Still trying to. Testing that area with the double clusters. So we didn't get the TBS. Just testing those double clusters and I block and laid a ZOI right on it. Interesting. Hey, Nikita, good morning. So again, I mean, even if this set up a simplicity long, I wouldn't take it. I'd have to break above that top, above this dynamic magnet, basically, for me to jump into a simplicity. So in that case, I would look for the LRE. And we're almost, and see, that's why I want to have taken that short. You can see now our 50 tick bar is back almost to the top. So if that closes at 938, then we'll have a 3-bar chop. Hopefully it does. Morning, Peter. There we go. We got that bar closed. Now we just laid a... Yeah, we have a crash now on the 30 tick. You can see it right here on my 10. Brand new crash. Let's see if this bar comes down on the 30 tick. I mean the 50 tick or not. Because we have our 3-bar chop now.
Draft orders with exhaustion box on NQ. Potential TX on CL.
$50 tick bar is about halfway down again, so let's see where it wants to go. Hey, Dan, good morning. No, yesterday I had one loss. It was a good trade, but it lost. The struggle continued yesterday. I wish I could have said, Dan, that, we all passed with flying colors. Doctor. Yeah, Mark. Last day of January, so and maybe it's just January, and I mean tomorrow we have Fed funds rate. So hopefully this is the last week. Hopefully after this week we can get back on uh on a good pace. I don't know. This Canadian news might be impactful to our market today
Double cluster NQ.
at 8:30. So I'm gonna keep my eye on the clock a little bit. Make sure I'm not in something at 8:30. Or last time Canadian news got me, it was 3 minutes after it came out. The overall trend for the day has shifted to the long side, so I'm kind of trying to keep my trades in line with the overall trend of the day because I've noticed those are working a lot better uh, versus these mini trends. Yeah, Dan. I was like, okay, 8:30 came. 8:31. Okay. All right. I guess it's nothing. Then as soon as I got in my trade, it just shot up, knocked me out, came back down. I was like, "Oh, nice. It's 8:33. Okay." And that was the one I think that got me like was it that one? Yeah, that was the one that got hit me for like 40 something ticks or 30 something ticks. It took out my whole day with that one loss. I had like 20 tick slippage.
Double cluster NQ.
We have this potential exhaustion box with trapped orders, Paul, and absorption X here going on here. No cluster, or else that'd be a Lorex, but this little potential weakness right on this crash. So we'll see what happens there. Oh, man. Yeah. Hey, man, it took me 2 years. So it took me 2 years. I wish I could have done it sooner, but it's tough. Actually, more like a little over 2 years before I started acting right. Oh, man. Well, sure did have an impact.
Double cluster NQ. Potential
Dang.
VS cluster and cube.
All right, well, answers that question. But you know what? I don't know. This is pure speculation. I have no idea if this will be the case. But it's Canadian news. So it's impacting the market right now.
Potential TX.
I don't know that it'll have a lasting effect. And typically, market trades back to where it was before any news. So it might be an opportunity for a short to come back down after the reaction here. Maybe. That's, like I said, pure speculation, and still need to trade what we see on our charts.
Potential TX.
See, it looks like it's already calming down a little bit.
Trap orders with exhaustion box on and
So a
cube.
few more minutes, and it'll probably be back to normal. It's at settlement. I could definitely see this coming short back to where it was trading before, but just gotta wait and see.
Double cluster and cube. Potential TX.
Hey, that's for sure, Dan.
Potential
Like, imagine it reacting now after thinking it has no reaction. That's exactly what happened last time. All right, let's see what it's going to do now. Look at this nice chop blocks that it created on the 50 tick.
cluster and cube.
Triple clusters on the 30 now.
OP rejection on CL.
Here we go. We might be getting a break short.
Double cluster and cube.
Not hopping in anything right this second, though. No simplicities, because it very well could fake out
And cube.
and bounce around or zip a little bit.
Exhaustion box on and cube. OP rejection on and cube.
There it goes. It's shooting down.
Double cluster and cube.
Yeah. It's trying to make its way back down. And it probably will, but just got to be careful of any oscillating, because that's where you can get hit with your stop too, you know. Especially I like to keep a stop where I don't like 40 50 tick stops, so You don't want it to do this oscillating here, where it gives you an entry or something, then oscillates. You want to get in when it's ready to go. Come back up and testing settlement in those clusters here. This is interesting.
Double cluster NQ.
Left all these ZOIs down here on the 10 tick, one from the 30 tick. And this thing might run long. Let's see, what is...
Cluster NQ. Potential TX on NQ. Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
It went all the way up to yesterday's close, which is at about 83, 983. So that's where it was hitting.
Potential TX on NQ. Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ. Double cluster NQ.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for an LRE. I'm not gonna take a simplicity at the moment until it, because I don't know for sure. Like after the news and everything right now, it's hard to determine direction for a new trend at the moment. So definitely wait for an LRE. Like this may be long here, but it being at the top of everything right now, it could stop. So I'll wait for an LRE. That way I know that there's for sure a trend, a new trend. Like here, like I would wait for this to break, but sometimes it'll break like now and then come back down. So like that would have knocked me out if I would have hopped in that long. And then that's also why I wouldn't have hopped in that long anyways, because stop would have had to been about 20 points. So I'm not taking a stop at 80 tick stop. So definitely not. Just wait for the LRE.
Potential TX on NQ. Potential OP rejection on NQ.
Like right now, man, you'd be down about 40 ticks if you hopped in this long. Well, hey, actually, that SLZ did go on the 30 tick. It's right here. This bar went up and shot up. We have some 9 a.m. low impact news. But considering the market's moving a lot right now from the Canadian news, I'd be interested to see if it has some type of effect. All right, now let's see here. It's hit this area a few times now. If you look on simplicity chart, hit that ice level there, hit it up there again, kind of oscillating around it. It's not able to break it, but if it does break it, it might shoot up. So this is a level here, this ice and wall, to see if it's either just going to reject and go down or if it's going to try and bust through, because it's hit it 3 times now.
Potential TX on NQ. Track orders with exhaustion box.
Back down to settlement. Yeah, I know I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that I'm going to be hopping in simplicity entries as well going forward, but today I probably won't, just by looking at the price action. I don't know, maybe, but it's a little zippy and it's a little, it's not in great sync because of the news. So it could have some oscillating, which could knock me out of a simplicity. Like I would hate to hop in a short or just like that long earlier and, it oscillates like that between 20 points. That's where I would definitely get knocked out. Like even here's an early entry short, which I wouldn't have taken, going right into the dynamic magnet in this wall. But we're doing some oscillating here in this area. So I'd wait for an actual simplicity and for it to trend and then look for the LRE. And with the way it is moving, if I get a good LRE, I mean, the way it is moving right now, you could grab 10 points pretty easily. Because, I mean, even just look right now, it's from this dynamic magnet, 60. I mean, it just moved 15 points really quick right there. So, yeah, if I get a good LRE and trail, could very easily get 10 points on an LRE, 10 plus points. Yeah, for sure. See Damos. Yeah, right at settlement. Wait till we get away from this area.
Double cluster NQ. Double cluster NQ.
Yeah, no, I saw that. It just met expectations. All right, let's see if this simplicity long will go now. I'm going to refresh my dynamic magnets and everything now. All right. Might go long. Got 12,000 right above.
Double cluster NQ.
If this can make a higher high here, I may take a pullback. Okay, there's a higher high now. Well, there's a cluster on the 30 now. Not taking a pullback. Cluster there. I was gonna say if it can pull back to around this cluster, then I would take a long, but now we have a cluster on the current bar, so now I would need it to break this mini magnet up here. Basically break 12,000 now for me to go long.
Double cluster NQ.
If we can get a clean break above 12,000, then I would take a pullback to it, but let's see. Might be getting some HD here. There's a lot of clusters on the 30. I'm going to I'm going to wait. Because now we got another cluster on the 30. But it's at the top. We had HD, but we're in between these clusters here, and I don't like that. You can see cluster, because I was waiting for another pullback to this cluster again, which we just got with HD. But then we have this cluster up here right at 12,000. So that's telling me this whole area, like this 10-point area, is probably, there's a little bit of a fight to determine whether it's going to bust through 12,000 or not. Hey, good morning. I want to.
Potential OP rejection on NQ.
Now we got a ZOI, red eye block. There we go. Now it's busting through.
Double cluster NQ.
All right, if it comes back down to this 12,000, then I'll go long off of it.
Potential TX on NQ. Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
Morning. Not lately.
Double cluster NQ.
Waiting to see if we get this pullback here. We'll have to be careful, though, because we've got quite a bit of clusters up here on the 10 tick. So if I do get a pullback around 12,000, I have to see what it looks like.
Potential TX on CL. Trap orders with exhaustion box on CL.
All right, let's see if this these levels here are going to hold up for me. We do have all those clusters up there. Let's see if we can get another little pop-up.
Potential OP rejection on NQ.
This thing might be ready to come back short. Got a lot of OP in those clusters up there. Let's see if it'll go or not. Might get a third bar sling, so got to be careful on the 30 tick. Definitely don't want a third bar sling against me. Yeah, I might want to get out of this one. Let's see. Yeah, this one's going to come down. We're going to get that third bar sling. I was going to try to get out of it. All right, I'm tightening this one because there we go. Because it's it flipped on me. We might be getting this third bar sling. It just hesitated with all those clusters and everything. Of course, it's going to run up now. But I was fine with that. Yeah, but this thing looks like it's going to... Well, there's a cluster now on the 30, but this is looking like it wants to come down. Well, it was anyways. If it didn't threaten that third bar sling on the 30 tick, then I would have stayed in, but it really looked like it was going to lay that third bar sling on the 30 tick while I was against me. And that's what, with it oscillating, those clusters and a potential third bar sling, I'm just glad I got out of that one. I don't care that I missed, that I could have got a little extra out of it. Yeah, it was a good stack. 12,000 had a lot to hold it up for sure. I liked it, but like I said, when it started threatening that third bar sling against me, that's when I didn't like it. Because higher highs just past 12,000 and then threatening to come back down with a third bar sling. Yeah. And that TBS would have been where that cluster is too, because it pulled up here and it was trying to lay a TBS in this area. So now we have a crash right here too.
Potential TX on CL. Potential double TX on CL. Trap orders with exhaustion box on CL. Double TX on CL.
Yeah, I love jiu-jitsu also. Every summer when I'd go to Brazil, I'd train because I went, to see my family during the summers. Jiu-jitsu and capoeira. I have family in it's a city called Juiz de Fora. It's a couple hours outside of Rio. All in that area, I have family just kind of spread out. Capoeira, David. That's that one. It's like where they do the flips and everything, and the kicks, and you see it in some movies. I used to do both. I would break dance and do capoeira. That's why I liked capoeira a lot. David, that usually beats anything. Yeah, that one video that's funny. I know which video you're talking about. I want to.
Potential TX on NQ. Potential SLZ on NQ.
Yeah, I can't do any of that stuff now. That's for sure.
With exhaustion box on NQ. SLZ on NQ.
This SLZ Lorex on the 10 tick. Look at that. That was nice. Hey, here in Texas, you don't need no permits or nothing to carry. Concealed. Yeah, that was a nice one. I like that one. That Lorex. Lorex SLZ. Any Lorex paired with any other sniper? Well, that's another reason why I like being able to talk, because in the elite room I've done that before where I've missed so many trades because I'm typing or looking at the chat. Yeah, Lorixes are great on ES too. You just gotta be careful of the chop on ES sometimes. Sometimes it'll be, some chop or 2-3 bar chop. And sometimes it could stay choppy on ES. But once it cleans up a little bit. But yeah, ETXs and Lorixes are great on ES as well.
Double cluster NQ. Potential TX on CL.
So if we can get a short under this Paul here on the 10 tick, and the reason why I say that is because if you look at the 30, we have a mini magnet Paul there, and to the left there was a mini magnet. So on the exact same level. So if we can get a short from under there, I would like a short underneath that.
Orders with exhaustion box on CL. Double TX on CL. Potential TX on NQ.
Order canceled.
So it did not trigger a short underneath that yet. It almost did. Came right down to it. Stayed there. We couldn't get a close, or couldn't break the low. That's still hanging out around 12,000 here.
Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
Yeah, it's definitely fighting. Now we may get this mini magnet on the 30. That would help. This mini magnet right here, if this bar closes at 11,994 with this mini magnet, that would help push it down. Although, still fighting, so. It's trying to lay it right where that crash is. Just about. We'll see. It's struggling. If he gives a short underneath that, I'll probably take the short. Although it just flipped.
Double cluster CL. Potential TX on NQ.
Yeah, see that low impact news did nothing. It's got a paw also underneath there. Kind of hard to see. There's a paw under there. So there's some weakness. Potentially leaving a mini magnet. I really want this mini magnet to close down. Yeah, keep in mind we have those clusters down there as well on the 30. So it could potentially hesitate if it gets down there.
Order submitted.
Just going to throw my stop behind this ice level.
Potential TX on NQ.
Order canceled.
Trap orders with
Yeah, it could be waiting for the open. Looks like it's trying to test 12,000 again. Not quite ready to run away from it yet. It bounced right off that cluster on the 30. I thought it may hesitate, but it bounced off of it. Testing this bottom in 12,000. Let's see if this holds up or not. I would have a target of the ice down here, ice and ZOI for my first target. If it can continue. There's no real indication that it's going to continue though. There's no, it's not laying any OP or nothing for me. Yeah, it wants to keep testing this 12,000 area. It doesn't look like it's quite ready yet. Still not getting any OP or anything to tell me it's going to go down. Just got to leave my stop here and see what it does. There we go. We laid a ZOI here. Let's see if it'll come down to that red ice level now.
potential OP rejection on NQ. OP rejection on NQ.
Oh, still not quite ready. That other cluster on the 30. Holding us up.
Potential TX on CL.
Oh, man. Trailing stop got tagged. We've got some clusters here and also on the 10 tick. Not quite ready to move to break even just yet.
Potential TX on NQ.
I've got my target of that red ice and ZOI down there. Creeping up on the open, so kind of want this to go sooner than later. Another cluster. All right, moving to break even. Tightening up. There we go. Grabbed about 30-ish ticks. It hit that ZOI, really close to that ZOI. I don't want it to bounce up and then play around here and get too close to the open, so I'll take that. I'll take that. I need a win under my belt. Been a little while. Plus, we have that cluster. See, these are the two clusters I was talking about on the 30. So this is why we had that oscillating in that area. So I'll take that and call that a day. Yep. Nice. For sure. I mean, this month, y'all have seen it. This is why I'm doing this. It's been a tough month. And so this definitely grabbing 31 ticks for the day. I'll take it. Definitely take it. Yeah, exactly. That was a break of the range, so you can see it clear, and you can see on the 10 tick here, came down, nice range, right? Then we have this paw here, and that's what I was looking at on the 30. This paw below, that's below the 12,000 and all that. This paw and mini magnet, same exact level. So I was like, oh, if it could break that, it's already came down many times. If it could break that, it should go. And then while it broke it, that was that mini magnet that I was saying, mini magnet paw laying right on that ZOI crash. So that told me if it stays there, that's why I was saying I want that to stay there and this close down, because that's going to give me everything I need to believe that it's going to continue down. So yeah, and that got close enough to the ice where I just, I was okay with tightening up. And if it continues, great. If it knocks me out, great. So, yep. And that's on one mini. So, like I said, I never had to, well, I guess I did risk about 30 ticks on that one. I had to pull it back a little bit because, see, originally I wanted let me go to simplicity. I wanted my entry to be just below this. So that would have been, let's see, 96.50. See, I would have been about 5 points would have been my stop. But because my entry ended up getting a little bit lower than what I wanted, I had to risk a little bit more. But see, I had to be behind this because you can see it got really close to stopping me out. But I had to be behind that level. And that's why I'm like, if it breaks above this, I want out anyways. So just stay behind that. And yeah, this actually, it's not my favorite LRE, but because of that level, you very well could have taken that as an LRE and then just, had an even lower risk. So, and an LRE is pretty much coming up, but it's too close to the dark zone right now. Yep, right down to the red ice. So, all right, got to work on now building. Hopefully this week, getting out of January is going to help build this account balance back up. Like I said, I so far weathered out probably the worst month I've ever had, or toughest month, not worst month, but toughest month I've ever had. Like that month, January has been so tough. And I'm down 346. So definitely not worried about that at all. No, I know a lot of people have told me pre-market specifically. You know, there's different opportunities, different strategies after the open, right? But pre-market, everybody has told me the same thing. At least the 1 hour before the open has been extremely difficult this month. So, yeah, not just us, not just me. But yeah, if we can learn to survive those difficult times and not have to recover, you know, very much, then when those great times come, you know, we'll just be all profits. So, all right, that's going to be the end of my day. Hey, see you later, Vegas. Have a great day. Everybody, y'all have a great day. Watch the news. Quite a bit of news coming up. 9:45, 10 a.m. So everybody have a great day and always trade well. Take care, y'all.